Alright, hello. Today I'm going to teach you how to farm the new 1999 Arcanes extremely fast. This is a way that I do it and I find it to be the fastest, but you could get variations of this way and you could also do the Assassination tank mission if you're really fast at doing that. But this has been the most fun way for me, the most consistent way for me, and by far the fastest way for me. The way I do this is by doing the Exterminate mission for Tech World with Mirage and Ogris, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you the build and the strategies that I use to absolutely destroy it and do it within 2 minutes. The Mirage build is going to be a very standard focused on strength mainly build, so 328% strength and 226 duration, and subsume the fourth ability for energized munitions. Now you can get a variation of this build using the funny augment for her fourth ability, which is Prism Guard, but at the same time Prism Guard is not going to be as fast as this and it uses way more energy, so it's not going to be as efficient as going something like the Ogris Mirage. Here's the build. Streamline is here so I can have all 3 abilities at the start of the mission completely ready, so I can have Hall of Mirrors, Eclipse and Energized Munitions ready from the get-go. And then Arcane Acceleration, even though the Ogris doesn't have that much crit chance, it will help a lot by giving the Ogris way more fire rate, and because of Energized Munitions giving the extra ammo efficiency, you can freely spam this. Now, you know, I have Prime Sure-Footed here. If you don't have Prime Sure-Footed, you should do the combo of Sure-Footed here and Fortitude right here instead of Streamline, and this will work absolutely fine. You get 100% knockdown resistance like this, and it's like having Prime Sure-Footed, and the efficiency being 45% doesn't hurt as much, and if it does hurt you, you can simply remove one of the ability strength swords and replace it with the orange or yellow swords for maximum energy field on spawn, and that should be absolutely fine. Since I do have Prime Sure-Footed, this is going to be the build we're going to use, and I have Streamline back on and Prime Sure-Footed on. But one thing that I want to mention again is that Molt Augmented is not needed for this strategy. I just have it on because I use this build outside of this type of mission as well, and it helps a lot with having the extra strength on the longer missions. But for this strategy, it's 100% not needed. However, Arcane Acceleration does help a lot, and if we go to the Ogris build, we're gonna see that we use the new Magnetic Capacity mode to give our Kuva Ogris magnetic damage and 1 more ammo in the magazine, which is very important. This paired with Energized Munitions is 3 extra bullets every single time, which makes it so that you can throw around 16 bullets before you have to reload, which is really strong. And then heavy caliber, I know that people say stuff like semi-rifle cannonade, but heavy caliber is here because of the inaccuracy. If you add minus accuracy to the Ogris, then the aim deviation goes really high, and then the multi-shot allows your bullets to just fly to different directions and cover a bigger area that gives you more AoE damage. So by adding semi-rifle cannonade, even though the base damage does get increased, you lose the AoE damage and the bigger area of effect that covers with Nightwatch Napalm and the Ogris heat damage, which is also why we go Heat Progenitor and we build for heat damage a lot, because Nightwatch Napalm does scale from 100% of your heat damage since it guarantees hit procs. Then obviously Vigilante Supplies is a must-have. Prime Cryo Rounds can be exchanged for normal Cryo Rounds, and Prime Firestorm can be exchanged from normal Firestorm, but obviously the results are gonna be a bit worse. Primary Merciless should be a no-brainer. You are killing only with the Ogris, so you just need that. Your secondary weapon of choice doesn't really matter. I just use the Nuker because I like it, and it has some hidden inherent mechanics, so in case you don't kill somebody with Ogres, you can just swap to this and just kill them, or you can alternatively use the Tenet Plinks and do the exact same thing. But it's really not needed when you use Mirage, so it's just really fast at killing everything. And last but not least, we're using a Praedos. This is only for the parkour speed. We don't really care about anything else, so Sprint Slide here, initial combo, whatever, parkour velocity, this is the important one, and yeah. These 2 evolutions are basically what matters. The build doesn't really matter, but if you want it, here it is. This allows the Praedos to be good as a killing weapon as well, if you ever need to, but overall, we just use it for the parkour velocity. So now we're gonna showcase this on a mission. I'm also gonna show you the locations that you get the Scaldra or the Tech Road cache. Obviously you're not gonna use the Scaldra mission, so every cache is gonna be underground, which makes it way easier, and it's really good because every single time, if you know which area it is, then you know where the spots are every single time. They don't change, they're consistent like that. And if you are running on a solo squad, you only need to bring 2 of them to the cache, which makes it possible for you to grab one with your Warframe, then switch to Operator, grab the other one with Operator, and put both of them on the cache at the same time, wasting no time whatsoever, which we're gonna showcase. So you just want to get on the Exterminate Tech Red Bounty in Steel Path. It doesn't matter if it's tier 5 or not. That does matter for your standing if you need it, but granted you're gonna run this many times, it's gonna give you the maximum amount of standing cap anyways, and it won't really matter. Also, focus pool doesn't really matter. You can use Zenric. I use Madurai because I find it that the casting speed helps me a lot, but overall you can use whatever you want. So 1, 3, and 4, and then you just start shooting. And to navigate the area easier, use the minimap, because it's gonna be really hard to see with the Ogris. If you want to be able to see with the Ogris, I suggest painting the energy color with a black color, and that way it helps you without having issues to blind yourself. So we have the supply caches. One of them is up here, and then the other one is right here next to the train. So you grab these 2, you bring them to the supply cache, and boom, supply cache done instantly. And now you just finish the mission by doing the exact same thing. As you can see, extremely quick, with no time whatsoever. It took us, what, 10 seconds? And you just ignore everything, just move to the tile shed while shooting the floor, and enemies will just die from the sheer power of your AoE. One thing that really helps you is getting used to the tile set here, because obviously it's not the easiest tile set to learn. And the minimap will help you a lot, having something like Animal Instinct or Prime Animal Instinct, because you can see where people are gonna be spawning and you can learn the directions as you need to go. If you don't get lost like I got lost here, you can save a lot of time by doing that. And there we go. 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Got lost a little bit, but it could have been under 2 minutes very easily. And it gives us a free Arcane, just like that. So you can easily farm an Arcane, considering that you have to get out and then walk back in here and go over here again. You can do this every 2.5 minutes solo. And if you have a squad with you, then 1 of them or 3 of them can go into the cache while you're finishing the mission. Now, that doesn't necessarily make the mission faster, since you have to find more of these, of the green things that you have to put on the cache, but I think solo is really easy as well, and you can do it very quickly, especially if you get used to the tile set. It takes a bit of practice, and as I said, Animal Instinct on your pet really helps, but at some point you can just easily run through the tile set without having any issues whatsoever, and you kind of know where to go. And this is something you practice on, and the minimap, as I said, does help a lot, where you see the enemy spawns and you can navigate like that. So I'm now gonna show you every possible cache location, and this is gonna end the video. So this cache that is down here, it's very easy. You go right off the cache, and literally one of them is up here. Then you switch to Operator, grab the other one that is over here, and you're done. This is by far the fastest cache you can get. On this supply cache down here on the cinema area, I guess, one thing is right there, but the other charge is up here. So you just go up here, and then you Operator dash down here, and just dash back in, put one, put the other, and you're done. So that is all. Simple and very quick. If you want, you can also make variations to this build as much as you want, but this is what I use and what I find to be the most consistent in terms of both survivability and killing people very, very quickly. If you want, you can also go mecha and use a mecha doggo to absolutely destroy everything, like a Pharaoh Predacite or simply some normal dog or cat. I normally use Ardazakavat because it ties into the crit chance arcane that I have and Cat's Eye. Because to proc Arcane Acceleration, you do need crits, so Cat's Eye helps it a bit to stay in more uptime. So I definitely suggest an Ardazakavat, and in general Ardazakavat is very, very strong. As you can see, Prime Animal Instinct here for the enemy radar, and this is what's mainly going to help you to get consistent at learning the tileset, learning where the enemies are coming from, and all of that good stuff. So 3 tips that I'm gonna give you to increase your pace and get less times on the missions are: the first one and foremost, learn the tileset. It's very, very important to know where the entrances to the next area are and how to navigate to them very, very quickly. Second of all, to follow the minimap and ignore enemies that might have left behind, because they will either die to the flames of the Ogris, or even if they don't die, they're gonna spawn right in front of you again, because that's how the game works, that's how they coded it. Lastly, try to not really think about aiming at the enemies and not really aiming at all when using the Ogris. Shooting at the general direction, especially with the Mirage clones, will have some fire from Nightwatch Napalm do the whole war for you, and it's gonna be really, really strong. Some other stuff that you might want to know as well is that during this recording, the fastest time that I got was a 1:43, I believe, and it was quite a good run where I didn't get lost at all, and I did it pretty consistently, which makes it possible to get an arcane every 2 minutes if you're really, really good at doing this. And also that this setup can be used on any Exterminate mission whatsoever that you may need to get it on. So if you want to do an Exterminate mission on Steel Path really quickly on normal start shot, you can. If you want to go ahead and do a Zariman bounty while doing this, then yes, you can. If you want to do a Cavia bounty, Exterminate, tier 5, all of those kind of tier 5 Exterminate bounties that you can get a lot of standing on, you can use the setup and it's gonna be really, really strong. Last but not least, if you do have a Riven for the Ogris like I do, you can use it as well and replace magnetic capacity. I know this mode is good, but if your Riven does have multi-shot and heat, these are by far the best stats you can get. Crit damage doesn't really help me all that much, but as you can see, even without Riven mode, this build is just enough to absolutely one-shot level 200 and even level 300 enemies, because Mirage is giving it that much more damage. The tank and the Scaldra Exterminates are also valid choices, but they have some delay, and that is due to the enemies that fall from the sky taking a bit longer to come down and give you the RPG on the tank mission and the kills required for the Exterminate mission, making those missions a bit slower than the Tech Road Exterminate. The new Arcanes in general are very, very valuable. They have some decent prices on Warframe market if you want to make some plat, and they are very, very strong on a lot of guns and Warframes. Obviously, pretty much any of the Arcanes can really, really work for you and give you some new build that you may require. So have fun trying to farm them. Best of luck to all of you, and thank you very much for watching this video.